Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Transformers Friday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Walmart exclusive Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Collection Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle. That's a heck of a name. Anyway, let's get into it! Let's start our rocket engines with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top, nice digital render, probably, looks like, of one of the alt modes. Takara Tomy, Generations, Velocitron, Speedia 500 Collection, Transformers Legacy, the Velocitron symbol, digital render of the train mode. And then on the front, we have Velocitron, Speedia 500 Collection, and nice artwork of Galaxy Shuttle in his robot mode, and it does wrap around to the side here. And then there's some artwork of him in his space shuttle mode. Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle. Transformers Legacy. Leader Class. 8 and up, Hasbro print. On the bottom, Velocitron symbol. Transformers more than meets the eye. Some small fine legalese made in Vietnam print. Symbols I'm not going to learn. And a barcode. Also recycled. On this side, the artwork wraps around. From the front, Velocitron symbol. Some Cybertronian writing. Authentic. And then on this side, a close-up of that robot mode artwork, Transformers Legacy. And then finally, on the back, Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle. And he's an Autobot. And there's digital renders of all 3 modes. Transforms here in 19 steps and here in 16 steps. And also this, Velocitron Speedia 500 Collection. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. And don't give it to the babies. Some small fine legalese made in Vietnam print, that thing. And includes figure, 5 accessories, and instructions. Hasbro print. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at Galaxy Shuttle and what I'm going to call his primary alt mode. Of course, he's a reuse of the War for Cybertron Astro Train mold, so with a retooled head. And let's start with a look at his accessories. We'll start off with the instructions. Some Cybertronian, Transformers Legacy 8-up Transformers, Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle. And I'm going to say I'm not very familiar with anything from the Victory storyline. And I have to say Galaxy Shuttle is a pretty generic name for a Transformer. Velocitron Speedia 500 Collection, but he looks neat, especially in his space shuttle mode. But here's a look at the instructions, and again, you know, we have the legacy colors in here. The illustrations are clear as far as the printing goes. Sometimes not quite as clear on the transformation, but if you have Astro Train, you've done all this before. So, good instructions for the most part. And let's take a look at his accessories. And here we have his, I'm going to call it the Gatling gun, because that's what it looks like to me. And, you know, it's okay molded details. It's got some ports on the side here. Peg here for the handle. barrel. It doesn't move or anything, and I mean it gets across what it's supposed to be. It does have a good bit of hollowness to it that I don't prefer. And here's the other large blaster, and it has nice molded detail on it, and probably molded all in black. No, I take it back, it's molded in red most likely and painted black. So nice looking. And then this set of guns also nice molded detail, and these are all molded in red, there's no paint, and they do have nice details. And they look pretty cool. And I want to say they can join up with this. Is that how it? Nope, guess not. Nope. Anyway, I thought they joined together. Remember something joining together. Maybe it's just where these pig into this. And there I go bumping the camera. Let's move it over just a tad. There we go. So you can do that with it as well, or you can turn them the other way, although I don't think it'll work quite as well. Oh, there we go. See, it does all join together. So there we go. So you can make one just big huge weapon out of all that, and it looks odd because it's all red except for this one gun at the end, so that's a little weird. Then we also have this missile pod accessory also, and I don't think it really goes on there anywhere. I mean, you can replace one of the other guns with it, or however you would like. Now let's take a look at the crawler platform, and I'm not a fan of this mode for it at all, because number one, it won't sit flat. Now it looks okay, you can't tell it too bad when you have the shuttle sitting on it and it's supposed to be, you know, crawling along, but then how does it get on its platform? It's because it can't just launch from this, and it doesn't raise up from this because here's the pegs. But what I like to do, so I can remember how to do it, and I might not be able to, we'll see. Is close this up pretty much like it goes in the train mode, you know, and then like this, and it still looks like a crawler. Unfortunately, it does have these treads up here, and then you can just line this stuff up, the engine ports and the pegs here, and then, you know, turn it however you feel is appropriate. And then to me, that looks more like the space shuttle's crawler. Of course, it doesn't have all the support in the back of it and all that, but that looks more like the space shuttle crawler to me, but that's just me. And you know, you can turn it into the launch piece too. Flip that around, and it ports in there, and then the shuttle sits in there like that, and you've got a little base that don't sit level. So alright, that covers accessories. Let's take a look at Galaxy Shuttle himself. I'm gonna assume it's a him. Nice blues here, which I'm assuming is blue. I'm colorblind, don't make fun of me. or handicapped people in general. Nice Autobot tampo there. Nice black and white with splashes of blue and yellow. At least that's how it looks to me. But for most of the part, a very classic looking space shuttle. And then a couple of Autobot tampos on the wings there, which kind of, that sets it off for me. I like that. And of course, this bit here, it's messy. It's always been a bit messy. I wish they'd just give us a clip-on piece for this. Of course, there are people who are 3D printing pieces to cover that. And then the thrusters are nicely colored as well. And he does have some wheels on the bottom for rolling. Well, not really, because there's not one in the back. I thought there was, but there's not. So he doesn't really roll along too well in shuttle mode. So I hope he transforms to robot mode for landings. And on the bottom, you know, it's pretty clean, although it's very locomotive looking. And, you know, that's okay too. At least it's smooth. It's not really, you know, you don't see robot parts poking out. It's train parts poking out. And somebody might have built a space shuttle out of a train. Oh my. The only real issue I have with it, again, is this area right here. With, again, that's always been kind of a messy part of this transformation, or this mode. That does it, my friends, for a look at the primary alt mode for Galaxy Shuttle. It's time for our first set of alt mode comparisons, and here we have the Walmart exclusive Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Leader Class Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle. Next is Moldmate, the War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Astro Train. And Astro Train was also re-released under the Earthrise package refresh, but mine is Siege. Here's the Walmart exclusive Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Leader Class Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle with the Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee and the Amazon exclusive Generation Selects Earthrise Leader Class Alternate Universe or Dead Optimus Prime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the comedy portion, or at least the first comedy portion of our show, where I attempt to transform this Transformer. And let's start things off, and we'll remove the base. And to go into train mode, this one is pretty simple. Just undo the sides here, flip this piece up, spin it around. And then it's got two tabs right here that go into two slots right here. And once you get that into place, you can just close the sides up, and I didn't get it quite in place. And I still didn't get it quite in place. It don't look like. That still ain't right. Doggone it. Well, maybe we have to tab the sides in first. There we go. And then we'll close that up. And that still don't look right. Ah, there we go. It's because the bottom piece wasn't all the way into place. But there we go. Now it's ready for train mode. And let's see. Let's go ahead and flip these two pieces up. And then right here along this line, you want to split these, and they're on a double hinge. There's a hinge here and here. Then you also want to split the cabin, such. And then you'll notice on the inside there's these two black pieces. You want to flip both of those up. If I can get a hold to it. And then spin these pieces around. You'll notice there's a tab right here that'll stop it when it gets into position. Then you can close this back up, and there's posts and ports that you do have to line up in order to close it back up. And there we go. At this point, we want to untab these side pieces right here and over here. If I can get it untabbed. Sometimes they stick a little bit tight. And even prying it, it really doesn't want to come loose. The tab's in there pretty tightly, at least on this side. So there we go. Also, you want to undo the back jets here and separate these pieces just a little bit so that you can untab the fin here, the airfoil, whatever you want to call it, and then you can pin that back into place. Flip this up, and then this whole assembly flips over like this, and then these side pieces, well, flip the side pieces down. No, I had it right the first time. There we go. So that's in place now. Let's go ahead and finish on this end. Close this back up as you pull it down rather than up. Just try to line it up. You'll see there's, I don't really want to call it a tab here, but then there's an opening right here, and that fits over that. And then there's also tabs and slots that you have to line up. So once we have those in position, you can fold the wings down. Well, I said I could. I might have told the story. There we go. There we go. Then you also want to flip the ends of the wings in as well. And you can see there's a long tab right here, and there's a shallow slot here. And you just want to get those lined up. They will go right into place. You may have to push in on the wings just slightly to get it to do that. Then once you got that, you can flip these train wheels around. You can do that on both sides. And then you want to flip these pieces down. You can see there's a tab here and a slot here, and the same on the front side of it, and they just go into position, and this piece will snap into place because there's a little bit of a tab right here and an open slot right here. And once you get all that lined up, that'll all be into place. Then to me, the hardest part of this transformation is getting this to come down. Actually, it's remembering to pull that part down. And then once you have that, you can plug this section in, and it's just goes into the ports on the thrusters. And there's posts right there. And then make it so it's level. And then if you want to, there's many configurations that you can add the weapons on there, but I'm just going to stick them on there like that. And there you have it, my friends. With only slight difficulty, Galaxy Shuttle transformed into his train mode. Let's take a look at Galaxy Shuttle in his train mode. And I have to say, to me, with the black and silver, this looks a bit better than the purple and grays in this mode than Astro Train does, which is on the same mold. And then this piece, you can just, it just unplugs from the back there. As you can see, it's got some paint apps here. It's got some silver paint apps on the wheels. And then this is always a little gappy right here at the front of the train. But overall, I just have to say, I think the train mode actually looks pretty cool. It would be cooler, I guess, if all the wheels lined up and you could actually put it on some form of track, but I don't think that's intended for this mode. It's got lots of nice little train details in it. The operator's window there, all kinds of lined and what could be steam vents, and the smokestack at the front, the arms that go to the wheels, even though they don't function, the arms don't, but it's a nice detail anyway. And then there's another wheel there. On the underside, it's not super messy. He does suffer from visible robot head syndrome, but you're not going to be looking at the bottom of this thing in this mode anyway. And then as far as the weapons go, there's multiple ways that you can put these on here. I have them all assembled in one piece here. And the launcher on the top there, and you know, you can port those in anywhere, and again, you can pull them apart and port them in several places. There's port here, support here. I don't know, I wasn't looking at the camera when I said here, so I don't know if y'all saw that one or not. And then there is one here, kind of hard to get to in train mode though. And then there are also ports on the train car that you can put them into as well. And posts. So, although I like the train mode on this one better than the train mode on Astro Train, just the color wise, at least for the train itself, not necessarily the car there. This is not the mode that I bought it for. I did get it for the shuttle mode, and that's probably the mode that I will put him in the display in, whereas Astro Train gets the robot mode. But there we have it, my friends. Galaxy Shuttle in his train form. It's time for our second set of alt mode comparisons. And here we have the Evolution, Transformers Evolution, Walmart exclusive Velocitron Speedia 500, Victory Universe, Galaxy Shuttle. I'm glad I could actually remember all those words together. With the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy, Siege Astro Train. Here we have the Transformers Evolution Velocitron Speedia 500 Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle with the Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee and the Amazon exclusive Generation Selects Earthrise Leader class Alternate Universe Optimus Prime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second comedy portion of our show, where I attempt to transform this Transformer again. And just like last time, first thing we want to do is remove this piece, and we'll set it over to the side. We'll need it back again momentarily. And then the way I like to do this, I like to break these free first, because it untabs these. And unfold the wingtips, and if I can, we'll fold the wing out. There we go. Flip. Well, before you extend the wing fully, flip the train wheels here around. In fact, I probably should have loosened those up before I started moving the wing in the first place. But there you go. We got the wings right there. Then you can go ahead, and this engine section, we'll go ahead and untab that. And of course there's two eye-shaped tabs right there, and then there's the ports for it. And then you'll see right here, beep, there's a tab on both sides right here, which will correspond to the slots right here. This piece is on a double hinge. It's hinged here and here, and just push that into place. Then this whole wing assembly can flip out, and then these pieces, we will go ahead and flip these down, and you can see there's like kind of a platform here, and it's got just a little bit of a tab on it. I don't know how well you can see it there, but you just push these down until this flat part snaps into place. You can do that on both sides, and then you can go ahead and fold the arms out and flip the hands out. Spin that around so it's facing front. And then flip that one out. And they do tab into position. It's hard to see up in there with the camera, but you can see there's a little bitty tab in there, and then there's this piece here, and it just kind of pops into place. Let's go ahead and start working on this bottom section. So we'll go ahead and split that and move these out on the double hinge. Push these wheels, train wheels, up, and we'll go ahead and split that section. Now, a lot of times I mess up on this part of the transformation, on at least on Astro Train, because I forget that you don't leave this like this. You flip these pieces in, and then you go ahead and flip this back around. I usually forget to flip it back around, and I'm going, why isn't this piece going in like it's supposed to? But that's why. Now, once you get those pieces flipped around, this outside piece on this double hinge, let's go ahead and move it down into position, and it will just kind of port into place, and you'll feel it more than hear it, although sometimes there is a little bit of a snap. Now this piece right here, you just kind of have to fiddle with it to get it to fold out. It's on a peg right under here, and there's the peg, and then there's the port for it, and it does fit in there pretty nicely. Now when you go to flip this around, this does attach into place. It does tab into place, or port into place, and there is the little port for it right there, and then there's the little post, and you do have to kind of swing it out manually just a little bit. It won't, there's no hinge or anything in there to help you with that, but so you do have to physically force it just a little bit. And then same thing on this side. If I pry the right part, that is, and just swing it out a little bit till you can get that post into place. Now these pieces right here, you go ahead and flip them back out, and you'll see there's two sets of ports right there, and this is on a little bit of a hinge. So you want to swing it in just a little bit, and you want this outside port to go on this post. And same thing on the other side, which it was already like that. So I got ahead of myself, I guess. Now we also see that this is on a double hinge here and here. I may have said that before, but go ahead and swing that out, and we'll start moving this down, and you'll notice these two long posts right here and these two ports right here, and we just want to swing that down and get those posts into that port, those ports rather, those posts into those ports. And there we have it. As far as the basic transformation goes, we have that, but we also have these pieces, and go ahead and unpost the sides here, and then you can unpost the bottom, and they just, these silver pieces just kind of, you have to wiggle them maybe a little bit, but they slide off of these two posts right here, and you can see there's the two ports. Then this piece, spin it around, then lay it flat, then you post these two side pieces back into position, here being the posts and there being the ports. And so that piece is done, and you separate these two pieces, and then you'll notice there's a post right here, and then the port in his foot, and maybe I got this on the right foot. I do, on the correct foot. It is a specific way that they do go on there. You can't just throw them on there all willy-nilly. Alright, so there, that gives him a little bit of a boost in height, not much really, which is fine. It doesn't have to be a great big boost, but the biggest thing on these snowshoes is these big heel spurs back here for when you put this backpack on him. It helps balance him out a bit. And in order to get this on him, of course, just like before, there's the three posts, and in the engine ports there's the three ports, and you just line them up, and then he gets weak in the knees. And then you can take all his weapons, which I've had them all put together as one weapon before, but now they're all broke apart. And what I like to do, at least with Astro Train, again, I'm not going to leave this guy in robot mode. He's going back into space shuttle mode before he goes in the display. But I like to post this one on his arm, on the little, it's got a little port on this side as well, so you can do it either or. Then I'll put this gun in this hand, and then we'll port this gun into this hand. And of course you can still put these two pieces together and make an extra long gun if that's what you want to do. And then these two I like to port into here. They got these pegs on the side, and in the backpack it's got these ports. And in robot mode, that's how I keep it, just to, you know, not to lose any pieces. At least that's how I keep Astrotrain when he's in his robot mode. And there I go bumping the camera, because what is a Digital Caveman Presents review without a little bit of camera knocking? Oh, there we have it, my friends. Galaxy Shuttle, all transformed into robot mode. Let's take a look at Galaxy Shuttle in his robot mode. And I will go ahead and tell you, I don't really care for this backpack mode very much. I mean, the snowshoes are okay, and it does add a little height to him, but without the backpack, he really doesn't need them. And again, I really just, I don't care for the look of this, and I understand that when they made Astrotrain, you know, let's make sure all the parts fit back on him so we can justify that leader class price point. But I don't care for that very much. And again, as far as the snowshoes goes, the snowshoes are okay. They're a bit of a pain to get off, though. Or to remove, I should say, I suppose. And you may have to do just a little bit of prying. That one comes off pretty easy. Now I will say the snowshoes do have a nice silvery paint app on them, and it does have some nice treaded detail. I do like that. And again, you can use the snowshoes with this guy if you want to. And then I'm not a big fan of this missile pod thing either. It's just, it's like it's there as an afterthought. I would have liked to have had two of them, one for each arm, to make him a little more symmetrical, but that's just me. So once we have all the bits and bobs removed, and we're just looking at the base bot, so I want to say there's a lot of this guy that is just molded in color. We do have these nice Autobot tampos on the wings, and paint apps here, the tampo here, the stripes. This is probably a tampo too, that whole design, the V and the stripes and all that. The nice silver paint app here. The black parts are probably molded in color, and something I forgot to do during transformation is flip these pieces down, so you do have to do that as well. And then we've got some nice paint apps right here. Nice painted face. I think it's molded in black, and then the blue and the silver are painted on there. And so overall, I do think it's a very nice looking bot. I do think he's got more paint apps than Astrotrain. I could be wrong, but usually on these exclusives, the paint apps are a little better, at least usually. Not always, but usually. Now let's take a look at his articulation at the head. He can look up that far. You can't really see it. I don't guess. It's not much. He can look down. He doesn't have any chicken neck. It's on a ball joint, so he does get a little bit of waggle in there. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, he can raise it up that far. Not quite 90 degrees, a bit less than 90 degrees, but that's because of the edge on the top of the shoulder here. He can, the arm would or it can do a full 360 degrees, but you do have to watch out for the wings. There is a cut here at the upper bicep for a 360 degree rotation. And I want to say that's on a mushroom pig, but it's all closed up and you can't see. So it may or may not be a mushroom pig. He does have a double hinged elbow, but that's mainly for transformation. But it does give you that much bend and no real articulation at the wrist. It will go up and down again, but that's because of transformation more than articulation. He does have a cut here at the waist that allows for a 360 degree rotation. At the hips, he can give you the full splits. Kicking forward, if this flap, you let this flap raise up, it gets not quite 90 degrees forward, and it gets maybe 2 steps back. There is a cut on a mushroom peg here at the upper thigh. It does rotate 360 degrees. He does have a single hinged knee. Yes. And it gives you that much bend, not quite 90 degrees worth. And then below the knee, there is no articulation. You can untab the feet, and then you can get a little bit of tilt, but there is no rocker on this mold. And there you go, my friends. That is a look at Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle in robot mode. It's time for my favorite part of a Transformers review, robot mode comparisons. And here we have the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle with the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Leader Class Astro Train. And I forgot to say that Galaxy Shuttle's also Leader Class, so they're both Leader Class. For our final set of robot mode comparisons, here we have the Transformers Legacy Leader Class Velocitron Speedia 500 Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle next to the Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee and the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Walmart exclusive Netflix Leader Class Optimus Prime. For final thoughts on the Walmart exclusive Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Victory Universe Leader Class Galaxy Shuttle, I have to say, it's pretty much, it's Astro Train all over again. And everything that wasn't quite right with Astro Train is not quite right with this release as well. I like the paint, I like the colors, I particularly care for the shuttle mode on this one over the others, where robot mode is my favorite on Astro Train. The train mode actually looks better. The shuttle mode and the train mode actually look better to me on Galaxy Shuttle than on Astro Train. However, I dislike this backpack. I dislike the base mode in the instructions. It's good as the train car. When you attach it to the train mode, it's fine like that. And I don't like the backpack, and I don't like the base mode from the instructions. I prefer to fold it up and use it as a launch platform that stands up off the ground. As far as robot mode goes, it's okay. The weakest part of this robot mode, I guess I would say, was that it pretty much, once you pin the feet into place, it has no ankle articulation at all. And unpinning it to give it some back tilt, it really doesn't do anything. As far as the snowshoes, they're okay. They can work whether he's wearing the backpack or not. They're fine. But there really isn't a need for them when he's not wearing the backpack. Now, I do like the head sculpt on this, even though it looks like Space Shuttle Jazz. And by that I mean Jazz that would turn into a space shuttle. But other than that, I mean, it's fine. It's a really cool looking head. I like the paint on it. I like the paint on this overall. Anyway, I like the colors on this overall. And again, the backpack just kind of kills it for me. I understand why it's there. You know, why they did it on Astro Train to, you know, kind of justify that leader price point when Siege was still new, and we were still kind of upset over that. Some of us are still upset over, you know, the different sizing now, where everything is more in scale with each other, at least in my opinion, and they try to keep things scaled together now rather than pre-War for Cybertron trilogy. Sizing was just all over the place. But I don't like the fact that the weapons are all molded in this color and they get no paint apps whatsoever. And not that Astro Train's weapons got any paint apps, but I don't know, that coloring for the weapons looks a little garish for me. Again, that's my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.